In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the oil pan gasket on this Volkswagen Beetle. Let's get into it. With the drain bucket underneath, I'm going to use a 17mm wrench. We're going to drain the oil, loosen up the drain plug. Pull that off. I take the drain plug and reinstall it. Snug that up. We want to remove the cover. There's a bolt right here. Just use a hex socket or a hex key, 8mm, and remove this bolt. Should slide down. On the back side of the cover, there's two retainers. You want to just take a pick or even a punch and just in the center, just push up. Push the center up, and that'll pop out a pin on both sides. With the pin out, just grab the cover and pull that down. We're going to take these three bolts out. There's one up there, one there, and one there. Use a 16mm socket. Loosen those up and take them out. That one we're going to have to get a wrench on. Just using a 16mm ratchet wrench. Slide those out. Using a 10mm socket and a extension, we're going to take, there's 4 bolts that are hidden up in these areas right here. We'll take those bolts out. Out. Those are all up. And take out the rest of the bolts using a 10mm socket. You can loosen them first. Just crack them all free. There's 2 in the front. Take those off or loosen them. Pull those all out. On the back side, there is 2 areas to pry. Just use a small pry bar and make sure you support the oil pan when you're doing this. pop loose like that. And it just slides down, out of the way. Just gonna take a razor blade and just scrape off any of the excess gasket material. You can use a scraper as well. Just spray it with some brake parts cleaner and wipe it off with a rag. Now with the oil pan, you want to clean that up. Just take a razor blade and just take off any gasket material. And take some brake parts cleaner and a rag and just wipe it down. Make sure it's nice and clean. And even the inside, you want to drain the rest of the oil out of there and clean that as well. And take your gasket, line the gasket up with all the holes. That looks good. We'll get ready to install this. Now in the four corners of the engine where the two metals meet, you just want to put a little dab of RTV. Right there and right there. That's good. Now slide the oil pan in position. Just make sure the gasket stays with it. It's all lined up. Get a couple bolts started. And get all the other bolts started. Now we're going to tighten all these down. And we're going to go back and forth from the center, working our way out, and torque these to 11 foot-pounds. The two middle ones, do the best you can with those. And the 3 bolts in the back. Get those started. And tighten those down. tighten that down. Make sure those are all snug. That's good. I'm gonna take the cover, line the cover up. The back side, you want to take those push pins, slide those in place. Push those up. Just going to use a socket to push this one up. And then the center pin, you want to push those in. Just push those up just like they came out, but don't push them all the way through. Just up enough. Do the same on this one. And take the front bolt, get that started. And tighten that down. Now we're going to torque the drain plug to 22 foot-pounds. That's good. You want to take the oil cap off, put a funnel in there, and use the appropriate oil. We're using 5W30 synthetic oil. This engine takes a little less than 4.5 quarts. We put 4 quarts in right now. We can put the cap on, and we can start the vehicle, run it for about 15 seconds, shut it off, let it sit for about a minute, and then we can check the level. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it off with a rag first. You can see where on the dipstick the oil level is, and you want it in between these hash marks. If it's down near the lower end of it, you want to add the other 1/2 quart of oil.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.